Cannabis, commonly known as marijuana, is a very common drug that has been around for centuries. According to narconon.org, cannabis has been used as an agent for achieving euphoria since ancient times. It was described in a Chinese medical reference traditionally considered to date from 2737 BC. It has several street names like marijuana, weed, Mary Jane, trees, green, dank, skunk, reefer, and many more. You can purchase a gram of a potent strain of cannabis anywhere from $15 to $25 depending on the seller. Marijuana is legal in some states for medical use and even recreational use in other states. Marijuana is still illegal on the federal level. This should change. Marijuana should be legalized for recreational use in all states for 3 reasons. The government will make/save money, there would be less violence, and because it is safer than what is already out there. The first reason why marijuana should be legalized is because it will help the government make/save money. Marijuana licensing fees are some of the highest. In Colorado it is $18,000 per store. A total of 25% tax is charged on marijuana. All this money can be used to help decrease the debt that the United States have accumulated over the year. Since it will be legalized, they would stop wasting money to try and fight marijuana. This money can then be used to fight drugs that actually cause harm or for things like health care. The second reason marijuana should be legalized is because there would be less violence. With marijuana being illegal, users are forced to pour money into dealers who are usually gangs and cartels. So the users are giving the gangs and cartels a good source of income which they can then use to buy weapons illegally and things of that nature. Also, with marijuana being illegal, it has to be smuggled into the United States. Many of these smugglings happen every day across the U.S. Mexico border, endangering the lives of those who work at the border. The third reason why marijuana should be legalized is because it is safer than what is already out there. Only about 9 to 10% of people who smoke marijuana get addicted. This number is dwarfed by the amount of tobacco users who get addicted. 30% of people who smoke tobacco get addicted, meaning you are 3 times more likely to get addicted to tobacco than to marijuana. Nowadays, when people purchase marijuana, they can never really be sure if it is safe. This is because dealers usually lace marijuana with harder drugs in order to make it stronger. If marijuana is legalized, the government will keep an eye on the stores selling it so that the user knows he is safe and that what he is smoking is marijuana and marijuana only. This is a 2010 study published on The Lancet. The light blue bar represents the harm to the user and the darker blue bar represents the harm to others. Right away, you can see that marijuana is less dangerous than things like tobacco and especially alcohol. If you take a look at tobacco, you will see that smoking it is about 25% more harmful to you than if you smoke marijuana. This percentage skyrockets when you compare marijuana to alcohol. According to the study, alcohol does about 350% more harm to you than marijuana. It is evident that marijuana is much safer to the user and to others than already legal things like tobacco and alcohol. Believe it or not, some cruel people actually do not want marijuana to be legalized. They say lots of things as to why it should remain illegal, one of them being the potency of marijuana nowadays. According to an article from the New York Times, in 1970, the average THC content of a marijuana plant was 1.5%. The THC content of today's marijuana variety ranges from 8% to 20%. This is obviously much higher than what it was during the Woodstock era. The article says that the higher potency can cause cancer and brain damage. According to the New York Times article, today's marijuana can cause cancer and brain damage, but there is no proof for this. According to a Huffington Post article, the amount of people that have died from marijuana to this day is still at a stunning 0, meaning that the higher potency obviously doesn't have a strong enough effect to even kill one person. So saying it should be illegal because of its higher potency is not valid. As we can see from the graph, more people have died from prescription drugs. The drugs that are being prescribed by doctors are killing way more people than marijuana. Now that we are done with the reasons, here are some fun facts about marijuana. Fact number 1, you would have to smoke 800 joints in one sitting in order to overdose, making it virtually impossible. Number 2, fibers from the marijuana plant are often used to make things like rope, clothes and backpacks. Number 3, between 1850 and 1942, marijuana was sold in local stores and pharmacies. Number 4, in 1619, farmers were required by law to grow marijuana. And finally, number 5, according to mandatory.com, 8 of Shakespeare's smoking pipes tested positive for marijuana, meaning he was probably high while writing all of those fantastic plays. In conclusion, marijuana is an amazing drug that should not be limited by the government. It should be legalized because the government will make/save money, there would be less violence, and because it is much safer than what is already legal. Thank you for listening to this presentation and have a good day.